Hello and welcome to this week's Mindful Monday. My name is Allison Knight and I am the health coach for Employee Health Center. Today we are going to introduce a new mindfulness technique, which is the gratitude journal. We have talked about gratitude a little bit. We did a gratitude meditation a couple weeks ago, but today we are going to talk about actual gratitude journaling. It's very easy for us to take the good things and the people in our lives for granted, and gratitude can be hard to do, especially right now with everything going on in the world. But research has shown that consciously giving thanks for these things greatly improves our well-being and our relationships, and it helps us develop a better appreciation for the things that are good in our life. They have actually shown that people who routinely express gratitude report having better health and overall happiness in their life. It's suggested to do this daily, but there is also research actually that it might be more beneficial to just do it every couple of days, so 3 to 4 days or every other day instead of every day. There's no wrong way to keep a gratitude journal. But you want to write down 5 things which you feel grateful for. And the physical record is important. Getting it down on paper usually creates a stronger connection with the emotions associated with us and then has a greater impact on our health and our happiness versus just thinking about it in our head. The list can be relatively small in importance, like I had a tasty sandwich for lunch, or relatively large or big, such as my sister gave birth to a happy boy. The goal of this exercise is to remember a good event, experience, person, or thing you enjoy, and then recognize and relish in those positive emotions as well. So here's some important tips to remember. Be as specific as possible. Specificity is key in fostering gratitude. I am grateful that my coworkers brought me soup when I was sick on Tuesday is more effective than simply, I am grateful for my coworkers. Go for depth over breadth, so elaborating in detail about a particular person or thing in which you're grateful for carries more benefits than a superficial list of many things. Get personal, focusing on people who you're grateful for that have had an impact on your life. Try subtraction, not just addition. Consider what your life would be like without certain people or things rather than just tallying up all of the good stuff. Be grateful for the negative outcomes you avoided, escaped, prevented, or turned into something positive, and try not to take for granted that good fortune. See good things as gifts. Thinking of good things in your life as gifts guards against taking them for granted, and try to relish and savor those gifts that you receive. Savor surprises. Try to record events that were unexpected or surprising, as they tend to elicit stronger levels of gratitude. Revise if you repeat. Writing about some of the same people and things is okay, but zero in on a different aspect and in detail. Write regularly. Whether you write every day or once a week, commit to a regular time to journal and then honor that commitment, but also don't overdo it. Evidence suggested writing occasionally, 1 to 3 times per week, is actually more beneficial than daily journaling. That might be because we adapt to positive events and soon can become numb to them. That's why it helps to savor those surprises. So the reason why this is good to do is it does work. There are research and studies that show that gratitude does help with your overall well-being, including that mental health aspect, which then fosters that physical health aspect. And it also improves your relationship with others and yourself, which is especially important right now. So even though gratitude might seem hard, now is actually the perfect time to really practice that and realize what is good in your life and what you are thankful for right now. While it's important to analyze and learn from bad events, sometimes we can think about too much about what is going wrong or what could go wrong and not enough about the right that does go on in our lives. So a gratitude journal really forces us to pay attention to the good in our lives and to the things that we might take advantage of. We start to become more attuned to the everyday sources of pleasure around us, which again is that whole mindful practice that we've been talking about for the last few months. And the emotional tone of our life can shift in profound ways. Again, that positive mindset breeds, I don't want to really use that word, but a positive mindset leads to positive action and a positive environment, whereas a negative mindset leads to a negative environment, and it's a vicious cycle. What's more, actually writing down these events is key, because research suggests that translating those thoughts into words and concrete language is what actually helps us make that connection with the emotions that are associated with those people, those things, the things that we're appreciating and are thankful for, versus just thinking about it in our head. So I challenge you tonight to write down 5 things that you are thankful for, that you are grateful for, again, being as specific as possible, and try to continue doing this practice a couple times a week to help you remind yourself of the good that's still there in the world right now, even when it's dreary outside and the world kind of feels like it's falling apart. Thank you so much for joining me today. Next week we will be going through another mindfulness practice called the body scan, which we did a while back. And this will help you identify any of those feelings, tension that you might be holding in your body, and then helping you work through it and release it and find a more mindful space. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. I hope that you have a wonderful and mindful Monday.